2022 is wrapped up, and the event delivered a thrilling night of action that fans absolutely loved.
Что, теперь у нас тоже есть два чемпиона. У нас самая сильная страна, самая сильная республика, самые лучшие бойцы.
We were all wondering how Islam would look at 170, if the strength, if the power, if the grappling would translate. As the week went on, I think we all thought, okay, he's really comfortable looking at 170. He's looking really good without his shirt in those photos and in the training footage that we saw. And he said it afterwards, Chuck, in the post-fight interview to Joe Rogan. He's like, man, this is a dream. I feel so much better. And it's a scary thought. That's his first fight at 170. Just think how he's going to look after his second and his third. It's really remarkable what this guy is doing. I'm blown away by the performance because I really think the world of Jack Della, who had not, lost in the UFC and was on an incredible winning streak himself, to do that to him is nothing short of amazing.
See, now, I ain't gonna lie to you guys, I want to see Ilia Topuria versus Islam now. I want to see it even more now. Dude, Ilia versus Islam White House. Make it happen, Dana. Make it happen.
I like the over. I think the under-over is 2.5 rounds. I'm not sure what the lay is, what the money is as far as laying, but I can tell you if that's accurate, 2.5 rounds, I like the over. I'll tell you that.
Huh? Usman's there. Usman can be a problem. Can he? Yeah. We've seen how he done well against Chimaev as well.
Yeah.
That can be definitely. Yeah, you're probably right. Probably, and he doesn't take an unnecessary risk.
Yeah.
So he's a smart. I think Usman will be Islam's toughest challenge. Won't take any unnecessary risk. Can stick to a game plan. Who's going to give Islam problems?
Bulk at 170.
Get me at 170. Get me at 170.
We'll get you back on the Maccas.
Nah, look. Again, feel bad for JDM. I feel for him. Obviously, you don't get much better dudes than Jack. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet.
I didn't plan on it, but my shuttle just got here and I saw him walk. I wanted to tell Habib and Islam both congratulations, man. What they're doing is incredible. Just won a belt, 15 pounds up. I mean, dominantly. It's just him and his team, the work they're doing and the way they're performing is incredible, man. I got to respect it,
I think when we think about the White House, it's almost like, oh, does it have to be America versus the world themed and stuff like that? For you, would you be happy putting a non-American main event on that card?
Yeah, it's not America versus the world. It's what's the best card we can build.
So could Islam end up on the White House?
We're talking about him possibly, GOAT talk here, depending on what he does in his next couple of fights. So it's a possibility. And I was saying to Habib, I've been in the fight business since I was 20 years old, and all I ever hear is this guy's going to be a world champion. This guy's going to do this. This guy's going to do that. Everybody says the same thing, and almost nobody ever does or makes it. His father said Habib will go in and dominate, and he'll have a run, and when he's done, and then Islam will come in behind him and do the same. And, holy shit, it played out exactly the way his father said, which is pretty amazing. I don't know what you asked me, but I hope I answered your question.
No, it's just... If you didn't watch the fight and you want to know just how dominant it was somewhat reminiscent of the Khamzat Chimaev Dricus du Plessis fight, which we saw back in August. The fight, each round starts standing. Shortly thereafter, there's a takedown, and Jack Della was just never able to get up. He was never able to do much on the ground. Towards the end of the fight, he looked defeated. He looked distraught.
He looked deflated. His calf was messed up. Not to suggest that Islam didn't hit him with some shots standing, but it just was one-way traffic throughout. He is just so strong. He is so good. He is so dominant. He is so talented. And now he becomes just the 11th fighter in UFC history to win a belt in 2 different weight classes. He is also the man who has just won his 16th fight in a row, and in doing so ties the great Anderson Silva for the longest winning streak in UFC history. So all kinds of history made tonight at Madison Square Garden. He is the pound for pound best in the world. There is no denying that, and is slowly but surely going down as one of the greatest ever, and in my opinion has put his mentor Khabib Nurmagomedov with this victory very much in the rearview mirror. He has surpassed him. If he had not done so already, Islam Makhachev is that guy. And now the welterweights, which we'll be talking about a lot on this here program, have a new problem to figure out, because this is going to be a very tricky puzzle.
I didn't think Islam was going to be able to, I didn't think Islam is small for 170. I've seen him in person. I've trained with him. He's a big fucking dude. And who would Islam fight next at 170? You know what? I think Islam is destined for, he should fight Ilia Topuria at the White House. If he beats Ilia Topuria, he retires. Islam has plenty of money, right? Go out on your shield like Khabib did. A lot of people in MMA don't want to see that, but in mixed martial arts, us athletes, we stay too long at the party. There's no reason for an athlete to continue to come into the head and all that stuff. If I was him, fight Ilia Topuria at the White House, you beat Ilia Topuria, walk away. I'm sure he made another one. That shit probably goes as far as fucking Russia, so there's no point for him to keep on fighting.
Topuria, I don't know if you saw his tweet. He said you're like the most boring fighter in the UFC or something like that. I know you said to ask you about him after the fight at Media Day. Can you give us your full thoughts on a fight with him now?
No injury, nothing. I don't feel any pains. I'm ready. Who is gonna be next? Let's do this, and I will make it easy.
Daniel Cormier had already labeled this matchup as one of the toughest tests of Islam Makhachev's career. He highlighted Jack Della Maddalena's physical size, solid wrestling ability, and sharp striking as real challenges. According to Cormier, Jack's growing confidence only added to the danger, and he believed JDM stepped into the fight eager to measure himself against Islam and show that he deserved a place among the elite.
This is the hardest fight of his life. That's what he said. Like, hands down. This guy's big. He's a natural welterweight. He can wrestle. He's improved. His boxing is next level boxing. He's good. He's very, very good. There's been some tough fights in Islam's career, but I don't think he's ever fought anyone like this kid. Jack Della Maddalena is the real deal, man. He is, and the more he wins, the more confident he gets, right? So it becomes harder and harder to beat him. And I think that fight that he had last time with Bilal gives him more confidence that he can go out there and fight a guy like Islam. So yeah, it's not about if I have anything positive to say about Jack. There's a lot positive to say about Jack. He's a world champion for a reason, and he's one of the best fighters in the world, hands down.
Before the fight, Islam Makhachev addressed the criticism surrounding his stand-up game, saying people still overlooked how well he could strike. He noted that many fans labeled him primarily as a grappler, even though he had repeatedly proven he could hold his own on the feet. Makhachev explained that while his wrestling and submission skills were his strongest weapons, he had no hesitation switching to a striking battle if necessary. Confident he could compete in every area.
Tell me what you think your striking looks like versus his.
People recognize me like I'm just wrestler. No, I can strike with anyone. I show you guys many times I can strike with everybody. But I know I have better than all of the fighters wrestling and grappling, you know. Tomorrow if wrestling is not gonna working, we're gonna strike, we're gonna fight, you know. And I'm a best fighter in the world, and I have all skills.
Yeah.
At the same time, Dricus Du Plessis acknowledged that although he was personally rooting for Jack Della Maddalena, choosing against Islam Makhachev was difficult. He noted that Makhachev's history of defeating top-tier competition spoke for itself, and he emphasized Islam's physical strength, size, and careful preparation for moving up a division, even while hoping Jack would walk away with the belt. Du Plessis admitted that Islam remained one of the toughest opponents anyone could face.
Look at his opponents versus Makhachev's opponents. Makhachev has beaten the who's who. He is where he is, and he was pound for pound for very long. Pound for pound king for a very good reason. People think Jack Della is going to be bigger. I don't think so. I've now lately seen, and that's why they did such a long camp, to pick up that weight correctly. And he looks big, and he looks thick, and he looks strong. I mean, no doubt, he's a hard worker. But this one, I think, with Jack Della, I love his style, I love him, I like his personality. I would love for him to win that belt, but unfortunately, I cannot go against Makhachev in this one. I think he is just so good. I think he's so good, and I don't think he's going to give up anything going up a weight. I think he's going to be great at that weight, to be honest.
Make history.
Absolutely. Poirier also foresaw Islam Makhachev edging out Jack Della Maddalena on the scorecards. He admitted that Jack had the kind of power and precision that could change a fight in an instant, but Poirier still believed an upset, whether by decision or surprise submission, would be unlikely. In his view, a Jack victory in any form would have shocked the division.
I would think Islam by decision, but if Jack does win, I'm not going to be totally blown away if he lands a shot that hurts Islam or a knee or something. Obviously, if he beats Islam by decision or submits Islam, then I'm going to be blown away. But I got to go with Islam by decision. That's if I was betting on it, that's what I would bet on.
Max Holloway, however, took a very different stance. He believed Jack Della Maddalena would stop Islam Makhachev in the third round. According to Holloway, Jack's relentless forward pressure and sharp, accurate striking could slowly chip away at Islam's durability. He noted that while Makhachev often appears conditioned for 5 hard rounds, there have been moments in previous fights where signs of fatigue showed, and Holloway felt JDM was exactly the type of fighter who could capitalize once the pace began to wear Islam down.
Call me crazy, but I'm running with Jack on this one. I think the very first 2 rounds is going to be super competitive, and we're gonna see how the fight is going to play out. I think Jack's takedown defense is going to be huge. He's going to show huge here. I think he's going to defend a bunch of takedowns. I think he's going to get Islam tired. I think the size he's going to put on Islam is going to be a little bit too much. A lot of people keep saying, that Islam doesn't get tired, but in fights you can see it. He just wasn't as tired as the other guy next to him was. But in my mind, I see this way playing out. Jack getting him tired, getting his hand raised, maybe a third round TKO leaning towards Jack. And I think Jack is gonna find Islam's chin, and when people find Islam's chin, Islam when he gets hit sometimes it looks like it gets to him, I'm not saying like he's get hurt, like oh my god he's crazy hurt, but it looks like when he gets pinged, they don't like it too much.
Israel Adesanya also threw a prediction behind Jack Della Maddalena, saying he could see Jack finishing Makhachev somewhere in the 2nd or 3rd round. Adesanya explained that if Islam couldn't consistently get JDM to the mat, the fight would inevitably play out on the feet, right where Jack is most dangerous. He pointed to earlier bouts where Dustin Poirier and Alexander Volkanovski were able to touch Islam cleanly, using those moments as proof that a striker JDM's caliber can create real problems in a prolonged stand-up exchange.
I'm not trying to count Islam out, but I just know Jack. I know that when Jack keeps getting up, it's going to be a problem. And Islam's going to be forced to strike. And when he's forced to strike with Jack, he's going to get hurt. Islam, I think, is the best of the Dagestanis, one of the best fighters in history, one of the most efficient. But when it comes to Jack, look, even Dustin's able to get up and stop his submissions, and Dustin's a fucking gun. And also, I've seen live what Volk can do with Islam when they were in Perth.
Dustin has great boxing, but I still think Jack is, the boxing is
levels. Hey, he's touching him. So that's why I know he's going to hurt Islam. I do think, Islam, I'm not disrespecting. I think Islam will be able to get him down, but for how long? It's not for long. And also he's going to get stuffed from the beginning, in the middle, till Jack ends it. In this fight, not just because it's Anzac United, I really think that Jack Della Maddalena has the skills to stifle Islam's game and be able to just put it on the feet and knock him out. Might be 2nd round.
Michael Chandler also leaned slightly toward JDM in this matchup. He highlighted Jack's no-nonsense style, big power, sharp fundamentals, and excellent control of distance, which allows him to connect cleanly even against high-level opponents. Chandler added that Islam's experience training alongside much bigger fighters means the size difference wouldn't bother him. For Chandler, the real deciding factor was whether Jack could withstand Islam's relentless grappling pressure long enough to create the striking windows he needs to do real damage.
How do you think Islam does next weekend?
JDM is a tough. He's not much of a puzzle, man. He's pretty basic, but he is brilliant and violent and devastating with the basics, man. A little bit of range, a little bit of reach on Islam, and I won't even sit there and say, because Islam's a different breed, man. I wouldn't sit there and say, oh, he's a 155er, so he's not used to going with 170 pounders. I would not be surprised if Islam, his entire career, has been sparring with 55, 70, 185, and 205ers, because the dude's kind of a nut. So I think I don't think strength or size is going to be the problem. It's really going to be the dichotomy between JDM's great striking abilities and is his takedown defense enough to stop the onslaught of wrestling that Islam.
John Anik emphasized that Jack stepped into his first welterweight title defense, facing what many viewed as his most demanding test yet. Despite being favored against most of the division after the win over Belal Muhammad, he entered this bout as a clear underdog. Anik noted that Islam's move to 170 added an extra layer of curiosity, with fans eager to see how he would adapt to the higher weight class. He also mentioned that Khabib and the rest of Islam's team had meticulously prepared him for the transition, doing everything they could to ensure he was ready for success in new division.
Jack Della Maddalena, because he's making his first welterweight title defense here, and he acknowledged Islam Makhachev as the toughest foe he possibly could have faced, and he's a pretty big underdog this weekend, and I think it stands to reason, based upon the way he performed against Belal Muhammad, if he was fighting anybody else at 70, he'd probably be the betting favorite to defend his title. It's fascinating to see Islam move up, to see how he carries the weight, to see how he performs at the weight, but I think Khabib and his camp has done everything in their power to put their athlete in a position to succeed. I think the betting line's way wider than it should be, but I do believe Islam, based upon his body of work, deserves the distinction as the...
Morab Vale shared his thoughts, saying he could see a path for Islam Makhachev to capture a second divisional title by overcoming Jack Della Maddalena. While acknowledging the threat posed by Jack's striking, he emphasized Islam's fight IQ and adaptability, noting that Makhachev would likely analyze Jack's previous bout with Belal Muhammad in detail. Vales expected a challenging fight, but remained confident that Islam's skills and preparation will allow him to seize a win and claim his second championship.
Mention Islam, he's moving up to 170. Do you think that he gets the job done and wins that title, or do you think JDM retains?
It's gonna be hard for him, but it's possible to Islam Makhachev wins the second belt. JDM is great fighter, great striker, but Islam is tricky. He has a good wrestling, and he's southpaw. He don't get hits, but he takes people down and he mauls people down. So, and also we all see the JDM Belal Muhammad's fight, and then I'm sure Islam will take lots of lessons from this fight, and maybe Islam will make some adjustment. It's possible. It's gonna be hard, but Islam can win the second belt.
That's a wrap for today's video. Let us know your thoughts on this matchup in the comments below.